Hello, y'all. Namaskara. I'm going to talk about my newest painting today, and this has to be one of the best work that I've ever made. This one took me about 2 months to make, and I'm so happy with the way it turned out, and I've been dying to share it with you all. So let's go see how it looks. So, yes, that's the newest painting that I wanted to share with you and talk about it in detail. And it is similar to the previous two drawing I created of Pashupati and the Empress, which is the Chinese theme drawing. Now, this work that I just showed you is about the Japanese culture, religion, and architecture. And the one thing that is common in this and other previous two drawings that I've made is the significance of architecture in relation with the culture. So, first thing first, this lady, the main figure, is the Japanese deity Amaterasu Omikami. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Now, she is one of the most important deities in the Japanese religion, and her name literally means the one who shines in heaven or the sky. And according to Google, she is called Amaterasu Omikami, and the word Omikami literally translates to the great deity of August. And I'm not sure how true that is. So, if you know a lot about Japanese culture and religion, please do let me know if that is true. Legend has it that she was born when her father, Izanagi, the god of creation and destruction, washed his left eye in a lake, and from his left eye she was born. And when he washed his right eye, the moon was born. And when he washed his nose, another deity was born. So that's the origin story of this deity. Now, why I find the origin story interesting is because of the similarities of the origin stories and the connection with the eye in many other culture. Like for example, in our Hindu culture, they say that Surya, the sun god, resides in Vishnu's right eye. And in ancient Egyptian culture, we can see the symbol of the sun is the right eye and is called Ra, which I have adopted for my signature and logo. So, this associating the sun with the eye is very interesting because how come people living thousands of miles apart think so similarly? Did they have some kind of ancient knowledge, or were they perhaps influenced by other culture who taught that way? Now, there are some things that are associated with this deity, and one of them is this flower, chrysanthemum. Now, this flower holds much significance with the royals, and it is also considered very important in the Japanese imperial family. And this flower is associated with the sun, and you can see this embroidered symbol on the kimono. Again, this is the Kiku seal or the chrysanthemum seal, and this was the symbol of the imperial family back then. Even today, they use this seal in Japan. You can see this on Japanese passport. So this symbol is associated with the imperial family. And why? Because the old Japanese emperors and the imperial family claim to have descended from Amaterasu, the sun. Now, the concept of descendant of the sun does not only exist in Japanese culture; it also exists in other culture. The concept of king, queens, and other imperial members being born from the sun also exists in the Hindu culture, and I'm sure the same exists in Egyptian culture. Now, in Indian ancient Indian culture, we had this concept of Surya Vamsha, which means descendants of the sun. And one of the example is Rama. And in astrology, the sun represents king, queens, and other royal titles. So the reason why I'm bringing astrology into this is because I've been learning a little astrology, and the way it explains how and why things are related makes so much sense. And one of the example is the relationship between the sun and the royal uh, people. Now, the deity Amaterasu Omikami being the sun goddess and her children being the first of Japanese imperial family now makes a lot of sense if you apply that astrological concept. Now, I'm not implying that the Japanese culture is derived from Indian culture or the vice versa. I'm just saying that there are similarities in different cultures, and the way the people connect certain things is quite interesting. Now, if I apply one more astrological aspect to this painting, the term Omikami means the great deity of August, according to one source on Google. Why August, do you ask? In August, the zodiac sign that appears is Leo. Now, Leo is the sun, it is the king, queens, and all the royal things. And this particular deity, she is related to this, and that's the reason that I've included this constellation of Leo behind this bird. Now, coming to the architecture part, this is the Amaterasu shrine, a shrine dedicated to this particular deity. This is a pagoda, and this is a shrine dedicated to the deity's mother, Izanami. And this is another shrine. It's called Ise, Imperial Ise Shrine, if I'm right. And these are the imperial palaces. And we have some more imperial palaces resting on the shoulder. And this is a Tokugawa pagoda. And we have another pagoda. I think this is a Tokugawa pagoda. Again, I'm not sure which one is which. I guess I forgot. And then we have the shrine dedicated to Izanagi, the deity's father. And then this is the famous Ise Grand Shrine in Japan, which is dedicated to this deity, Amaterasu. And then I think this is the Nachi Shrine Complex. And this is a Tachibana tree. Now, similar to this work, on the deity's shoulders are the imperial palaces, the royal palaces, and it symbolizes the responsibility and carrying the further royal bloodline, like, I mean, the descendants, the royal descendant that came from her. So That's why I've drawn the imperial palaces on the shoulder. It's like she's carrying that responsibility on her shoulder. And the tree that I mentioned and showed in the painting, the Tachibana tree, it takes its name from an evergreen tree with brightly colored citrus fruit. Tree was brought from Tokyo, a land of eternal youth beyond sea. Tachibana is the total opposite of the gloomy land of the dead. Ideal location for purification, which is why the three deities came into existence there. Three deities, I mean Amaterasu and her sibling, the moon and Susano. I think that's the name of the third sibling. In this painting, Amaterasu is looking down. Around her are the clouds, so that should automatically tell you that she is high up there in the sky or the heaven. And she is looking at something. Now, this is a mirror, and there's a story about her where she went into a hiding. She went into a cave to hide. Now, I already forgot the story. I read it a couple of times. My memory is horrible these days, so please forgive me. Now, the story says that she went into a hiding and the world plunged into darkness. And there were so many gods and deities that tried to lure her out of the cave, to bring her out of the cave. And they did a lot of things. They danced, they made celebrations, they sang, and they had like a party. And Amaterasu got curious. She got curious as to what was happening outside. Now there was a bird whose voice increased her curiosity, and that bird is called as Oguisu. Again, forgive my pronunciation. It's a Japanese warbler, and it started singing. So its voice was so sweet that it started to, convince Amaterasu to come out of the cave. And she eventually came out of the cave, and some gods and deities held a mirror. And she saw the reflection in her face and she rejoiced at the celebration. She looked at the reflection and thought, who is this? She understood that it was her. So that's roughly how the story goes. I missed a lot of details, but that's the gist of the story. And this particular painting highlights that aspect of the story. It's a very famous story. So that's about this painting. Now, why I chose to work on this painting is because I wanted to talk about the Japanese culture and the architecture in relation to the religion. So, of course, we can see the imperial palaces, the pagodas, and the shrines. And the way I've positioned the buildings can give you a clue about the importance. Like, for example, I've kept the royal palaces on the shoulder. Shoulders carry the responsibility, the burden, and they are one of the most important thing in a society or in ancient society. And then we have the shrines of the deities, father and mother, on her head, on the hairpin on her hair. So that can tell that the ancestors were regarded as holy, and in Asian culture, and worshipping the ancestor is a very big thing. So it's like she's paying tribute to her parents. She reveres them. So she has given a higher place, a better place for her parents on her body. This particular flower was one of the first flowers to bloom in Nagasaki and Hiroshima after the atom bomb blast. And it symbolizes hope, rejuvenation after a very hard time, after a very difficult time. Now, one more thing. From Amaterasu, there were three artifacts that were given to her children. And one of them was this 8-span mirror. And the other one was this jade necklace. And the another one is the grass cutting sword that I've not included in this painting because I could not find a good place to fit in. So I've used the references from Google Images, so they look just like the references. So yes, I'm very proud of this work. I love the way the gold plays with the light. The painting looks different from different angle because the gold leaf reflects the light differently. And if you see it from this angle, there's a lot of shine. There's a lot more shine and there's a shadow in that corner. Look at that glow. And if you come here, stand over here, the painting again sort of changes. So yeah, I love the way the light plays on this painting thanks to the gold leaf. And I'm so happy that I chose to work with this medium because it turned out quite well. It did reach my expectations. And this is actually pen and ink, oil, and gold leaf on canvas. So that's about it. Please do subscribe to my channel so that you can follow me on my journey of becoming a successful artist. And please share your thoughts on this painting. Leave them in the comments. And check out my Instagram page where I upload new artwork and explain my art in short over there. And until next time, bye bye.